Yo, what is up, everybody? I have never tried a vlog before, so we're just gonna rip it from the start. So today is the first Elestrals live event that I'm going to, which is gonna be awesome. I have to go all the way out to Long Island, which a little bit of a trek, nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing I haven't done before. But I gotta lug a whole entire suitcase of Elestral stuff because I'm hosting this event. Now, Dan has also said that he's going to be showing up, so I'm not alone. I've got some friends who live out there. That's the main reason why I'm going all the way, like over 2 hours away to get there to do this event. I'm almost regretting my life decisions. But yeah, we're just going to head over to the train station and make my way through Grand Central to Long Island. Have a good day over there. While we watched this B-roll of my travels, I didn't really get a chance to vlog much. I vlogged obviously the start there and the end of my journey, which we'll get to in a little bit, but I didn't get to vlog much for some really awesome reasons, and that's because I spent the entire time at the store from like roughly 3 to almost 11 o'clock at night just playing Elestrals with people, talking to people, having a great time. I didn't have time to film or record anything at the store because it was just that good of an event. Like, I was busy the entire time teaching people, helping people. There's a point of a time during the event where I literally had no decks I could possibly play except a couple starter decks left in my box because I had lent out all of my decks to people to just mess around with. There were people who didn't know how to play Elestrals playing against each other. I was running around like kind of helping people with little rules here and there. It was just an awesome fun time. Lots of people showed up. We ripped a bunch of people from the Magic draft night that was going on. Some of the people doing the Magic draft were doing the Magic draft, and in between the rounds, they were running over to play Elestrals, jam a game quick, and then run back to their draft and stuff. Like, it was super awesome and fun to just see everyone excited to play the game. The store that we went to, Ribbon Ship Gaming, or Ribbon Ship Arena, links to them below. They were awesome hosts. They were fantastic. We couldn't ask for a better store to go to do this. They're just super nice people. Great store. It really was just walking into a really nice environment. The people there were awesome. It was chill and just tons and tons of fun. So I'll jump into the end of my journey here. You've watched enough B-roll for my last little bit of vlog, and we'll catch up right after that briefly. Yo, so we just finished up getting home now, or attempting to get home. It is 11 o'clock at night, give or take. I have been here for almost 8 hours. Totally worth it. So much fun. So yeah, Elestrals locals. We got the card. I'll show you that when I get home. So I got the aDrive card from the event. Pretty awesome. That's what I was alluding to there. I was dead tired by the time I got home. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning. And again, as I just mentioned, the B-roll, the event was great. It really was. Ribbon Ship Arena, awesome host, all that jazz. And I want to go a little bit into like some bits about this. So this demo event, this local event that we basically set up, like, was honestly kind of last minute. How it happened was my friend Chris, that I've known for almost 10 years from college, literally messaged me on, I think it was a Sunday night, or maybe it was Saturday day, that, hey, I'm at my local game store. They have Elestrals. Don't you do stuff with that? I'm like, yes, I do. That's awesome they have stuff. That's really cool. And he was talking to the owner about the game a little bit. So I was like, oh, let me just shoot an email and see if they'll have me kind of demo it. And I'm thinking like, if I go there for a few hours, I'll catch like, half a dozen people. We'll play some games. I'll hang out with my friends who live in the area. And it'll be a fun time. So I DM'd, or rather I emailed Ribbon Ship Gaming. They got back to me within like 10 minutes. Super quick. And we're like, yeah, we were super excited. We were totally excited to have you. You said the 10th works for you, so come down on the 10th. Come down whenever you want. We got some Magic casual stuff going on, and there'll be people. So I was like, even better. Great, I'll come down. I'll see if Elestrals can send some demo product down, because they didn't have a ton of product. They were just kind of picked it up to try it out, more or less. And I'll see you on the 10th, and we'll go from there. And I reached out to, Dan and the marketing team to be like, hey, if you guys can send demo products to these guys, I'm going there Friday. We have this all set up. This is awesome. And that was about it, right? So I'm like, cool. By Monday or Tuesday night, we sorted this all out with Ribbon Ship. I was like, cool, I'll be there Friday night. I'll stay there for like 6-7 hours because it's a little bit of a trip. And I'll just teach you guys the game and the staff. I'll teach the people that come in if they're interested. And we'll go from there. Following down to Thursday morning now, around 11 a.m., aDrive DM'd me back and was like, hey, I think I'm going to be there. So all of a sudden it goes from, all right, I'm just going to go down there, hang out with my friends, play some Elestrals, teach some new people the game, into, well, Dan's there. Quick, let's let people know and get people down. So a lot of people from the community ended up showing up. JT Speed was down there. He's been in Discord forever. I forget his username. It's right there, too. Showed up with, I believe he said his wife. And it's just like a bunch of people showed up to see Dan. Shady Penguin showed up for a little bit. Steve, the guy that does the app development, showed up. And we just had a solid chunk of people just show up to play the game. Some people who had Elestrals cards from Kickstarter who were like, oh, cool, I finally get a chance to go play locally, showed up. Some awesome kids showed up. And so, like, the first few people I showed the game to were some kids that came in that were, like, maybe 10 to, 14 range-ish. One of them maybe a little bit younger than that. So I was like, cool, let me show you guys the game. They had, like, a whole little checklist going because he was collecting all the hollows and stuff from the first, from base set. So I ended up just like, hey, I'll help you out. Let me give you a bunch of hollows because I have a few extra. I was giving stuff out. Like, I basically dumped all my bulk. Dan came down with Frostfall. So there's a bunch of Frostfall, commons, uncommons, and normal rares that were just there. We were basically able to jam out some Frostfall and paper, which was awesome. One of the guys from the Magic Night walked over and saw Steve playing Morfrost and was like, that's my deck. That's what I want to play. And we're like, well, it comes out in a couple of weeks, so it's like, oh, cool, I'll pick up some stuff in a couple of weeks then. How difficult is to play that deck? It's like, oh, you just pick up a box, and you'll probably end up with a playset of every Morfrost except Terror, which you don't need a bunch of in the deck anyway. And he's like, that sounds super easy to pick up. It's like, yeah, like, people ask questions, we answered questions, we helped build decks for new players, and we just jammed games for almost 8 hours. I left after 8 hours. When I left, it was almost 11 o'clock. I got there a little bit before 3. When I left, aDrive was still going. Steve was still going. There's just a ton of people just jamming games still. And it got to the point where, like, I just said, you know what? I don't want to stop people from playing. I just left them a bunch of starter decks that I brought with me that I was really going to take home. But, like, you know what? I'm not going to stop people from playing. Keep the decks. I got plenty. I have plenty at home. And just keep going. And by the time that Dan left, he said that they sold through their entire case of boxes, of booster boxes, and most of their starter decks, if not all of them. So, super, super successful event. It was just so amazing to play Elestrals and Paper for the entire day. I hope I can do more of this in the area. I got to start looking into some stores in, like, Queens and Brooklyn. A little bit less of a journey for me to get to if I go there. And see what else we can do in person, because this is great, and it's coming right at the end of base set, so it's like kind of the new beginning of Elestrals is we're finally getting out there. It's in stores. I literally went and played Elestrals in a local game store for 8 hours, and people were just so interested in jumping in, like, yo, can I borrow that deck again? Like, I wanna mess around with that wind deck again. Oh, let me try the earth deck, like, because I brought Wind Toolbox, Thunder, Nexus, Krakatuga Burn, and Earth Beatdown. So people are just like, oh, let me try that deck now. Let me try that deck. I wanted to represent kind of all the elements in a meta, so I brought the top 4 decks by tops and tournament wins, which were those 4 decks. So yeah, it was just super awesome to just I can't. It's so hard to just say like how awesome this was. It really was amazing to go to, and everyone was super receptive to the game. People were like, "Oh, life is a resource. That's really interesting. How do you balance them like that?" It's like very difficultly. If you remember base set testing, it is finicky, and it's something interesting that people kind of so go like, "Oh, so if I could just like I can push a board state here, but I don't know if that's really viable because they might just destroy my divine rooms." Like, that's exactly the game. Like, it's figuring out how far you can push your luck without losing resources to try and win, and that's really ebb and flow, and people really caught on to that. I played a little bit of a mini game where I was like, hey, I'm going to give you 2 cards, and you're going to tell me which one is seeing the most play right now. I said they both see play, but one sees a ton of more play than the other one. I gave all these new players Ambrosia and Nectar the Gods to look at, and if you're a veteran Elestrals player, you're going like, oh, okay, so Ambrosia sees more play. It's the better card. And using that to describe how it's a better card or how the game functions was a really fun little mini game to play with people where they go, oh, I can pay 2 life to draw 2 cards? That's got to be really strong. But then again, life's my resource, so is healing good enough to justify Ambrosia, but like drawing is always good. So getting people to kind of realize like, hey, Ambrosia is really good because it's healing. It's also kind of color fixing. It's also a little bit of like, I can play more cards in this game for less kind of options, whereas Nectar of Gods is the opposite of, I will play less cards this game because I have to spend life on this card, but I'll get more options, and that's not quite as good as being able to play more cards in the course of the game. So using that again to kind of teach new people the intricacies of why Elestrals is kind of unique was really fun. It's a really fun little mini game to play with people. Just, hey, here's Ambrosia, here's Nectar of Gods. Which card do you think is better? This is a 1-cost heal 3. This is a 2-cost draw 2. Let me know what you think. And it's a really fun time. Everyone's there was super chill. I met a bunch of people that were awesome. And yeah, I'm rambling now, but it was super fun. I hope you all enjoyed my little itty bitty vlog, and I'll see you guys in the next one. 500 subscribers now, which is awesome. You guys are great. I'll get into some gameplay and some giveaway stuff soon, so subscribe and like for that for more content, and I'll see you guys in the future, hopefully with more live event stuff. Just awesome.